All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Health Hustle Chronicles, where we talk about everything hustle related. So we're keeping you focused on that grind. This podcast ain't your typical podcast because I bring you the freshest, the livest talks around the world. Today, I'm blessed and privileged to have joined me Dr. Deepika Kumaresan. So let me give you a little bit of information about Dr. Kumaresan before I bring her on air. Deepika Kumaresan, she's an MD, also an assistant professor in the Department of Internal Medicine at UT Southwestern Medical Center. Originally from India, Dr. Kumaresan earned her medical degree from Vinayak Missions University in Puducherry, India, and completed an internal medicine residency at St. Vincent's Medical Center in Toledo, Ohio. Certified by the American Board of Internal Medicine, she joined the UT Southwestern faculty in 2023. Dr. Kumaresan's clinical interests include obesity medicine, endocrinology, type 2 diabetes, preventive medicine, and integrative medicine. She is active in several professional societies, including the American Medical Association and the American College of Physicians. She previously conducted research in the reproductive medicine department at Cleveland Clinic. She is a co-author of the book chapter in endometriosis, a comprehensive update, and worked on a bench research project studying the impact of abstinence on sperm parameters. Interesting. Dr. Kumaresan continues to extend her keen interest in endocrinology and reproductive medicine to her internal medicine practice. On a personal note, when she's not at work, Dr. Kumaresan likes to meditate and spend time in her garden. She is passionate about spiritual health, mental health, and yoga, and has been an avid yoga practitioner and meditator since 2013. She volunteers to teach classes at CSL Dallas. Dr. Kumaresan is a proud mom of three, a 5-year-old son, and 2 cats. She's also vocally trained in classical Indian Carnatic music. Man, that's quite a bit. So let's welcome and put your hands together as we bring in Dr. Kumaresan. Let's have her join. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Patrick, how are you?
And I am awesome. I'm even better now that you're here.
Thank you.
This
Good
is
to see
great.
you today. Yes.
So I didn't wake you up too early. Did I?
A little bit. No. I usually wake up at 5, but today I got to take some time. I took day off today. Yes.
All right. So thank you for joining. I'm super excited that you're here. Reading your bio, I was like, she's got 3, and then you hit me with the 2 cats. I was like, so are you a Taylor Swift fan too? Because she's a cat girl, right? You got to be a Taylor Swift fan, right?
To be honest with you, I love animals. I used to
Okay.
have dogs before, so I was raised in a household where we loved animals. It's all good. Cats are easy maintenance because I'm not at home all day.
Okay.
Dogs gotta take them for a walk, and
Yep.
responsibility I know because I had them all my life. So okay, let's shift gears a bit and let's have some cats. So they
Right.
just take care of themselves, just some purring and love, and we're good.
So I gave bio about your background, which sounds extremely impressive. So before we get too deep into who you are professionally, help us understand, who are you personally? Who is Dr. Kumaresan?
So I'm actually a student. I think I'm a lifelong student who is learning to know the world more than being a doctor. I'm so glad I'm blessed that I'm in this path. And I was, I was trained, and what the things I know, I'm very proud of it, and I'm serving the community. But in the overall picture, I think I'm a student to learn about this world itself, how this functions in terms of manifesting and living your best life,
Right.
because you see a lot of pain and you see a lot of things when you're in medical field. So your spiritual button turns on automatically for many, and so you start to wonder, what is it that I'm not seeing? And you
Right.
start seeking. So I'm a seeker. So I'm all about quantum physics, all about energy, all about vibration, what's out there, what are the things which you're not able to perceive with our naked eye, and what we know, whatever it is, there are things behind. So I want to tap into all of that and make our bodies healthy so that we are able to do what we want to do. So kind of, it's too broad to put a finger on it,
Sure.
but I think I'm a seeker. That's who I think I am.
So before, to this, checking out your Instagram feed, and I was like, okay, so it really is about that life. Like what she talks about is exactly what she does. And I noticed on one of your posts it had like, I think it was the frequency like 432. What does that mean? Like, is it supposed to talk to my soul or my ears? Like, what to me?
Oh,
What is that?
so very simple. So let's say you have a radio, right? And you are trying to listen to a certain frequency, right? You're
Right.
trying to set it to a certain frequency, and not all the programs are available to you at the same frequency where you are at. You need
Okay.
to dial it to different frequencies to listen to whatever you want to listen. So this world is at one frequency. Let's say sadness is at a certain frequency,
Okay.
being in that extreme happiness. Let's say you got your dreams come true, that moment in time you're vibrating at a very different frequency, not at the
Mm,
frequency which you usually vibrate normally or when you're sad. So if we can do that, going up and down through this frequency meter,
right.
if you're getting influenced by something outside for you to move from here to there, why can't we do it by ourselves
Hmm.
with our will? And why can't you will it, and why can't you choose to be that? So
Okay.
let's say you choose to be there. Let's say you choose to be happy and ecstatic every single day.
Right.
What happens now? Physics comes into play.
Oh,
You
okay. Talk to me.
attract, yeah, you things which vibrate at that same frequency. So guess what? When you're ecstatic, you'll attract all the things which will make you ecstatic. You'll attract all the things which are your dreams.
Okay.
You're gonna attract those things when you're really sad and needing and being needy about it and complaining. You're only going to attract that, whatever you're putting it outside. So I'm on a mission to elevate people's energies so that they are able to understand it's always a choice, and
Ooh.
not you're not at the mercy of your external environment. Things happen, but how you react and how you want to be is completely up to you, because we feel we are so helpless. We think we are victims of world and life.
Sure. Yep.
It's not the case.
This is good stuff. This like so. All right. So I know this is your personal. Do you? I mean, something you got to get trained in, or is that like you? How did you
Um,
find this?
so to be honest with you, I'm when I was a child, like I
Okay.
still when I was 3 years old or some, I didn't feel like this was it. Like, what is this? Something is I felt like whatever met the eye wasn't it. That
Right.
I was more intrigued with the energies, because I was able to feel other people's feelings. Like I
Sure.
was an empath, and I'm still am. And now I'm more regulated because now I know how to protect my energies. But when I was a child, I wasn't. So I used to feel certain way with certain people, and I didn't understand what is this.
Right.
But this being nice, then why am I feeling this way? So the energy part of it kind of intrigued. That's why I went into meditation, to understand myself, because the answer is all over here. The
Mm,
macrocosm is microcosm. If you understand yourself, you will understand the world. That's I started to experience it. So when I was a kid, it was very difficult, and you're very weird and odd.
right.
Then as time went by, and
I
then
kind of still feel like that, but go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, and you feel like you're not fitting in, and then you get to your early adult age, you want to fit in. All
Right.
kind of little bit, it's on the backseat because you are trying to fit into the society to achieve something.
Sure.
But I think there will come a point, and in life everybody has their own, we call it traumas or struggles or
Hmm.
hard times or dark times, whatever you call it. I think those come into our lives to get us more upgraded.
Hmm.
Teachers, they are the pivoting point in our lives. That's a pivoting point because, again, you either choose to elevate from that experience and become a more evolved, advanced being, or you can become a victim to that and just go down on the other side of things.
Sure.
So I think as time went by, I became more spiritual. I wouldn't say religious, because all religions, again, they all come together at one point.
Sure.
So spirituality is something which encompasses everything. You're just seeking, right? So it was more easier because the culture from which I come from, it's a land of seekers. India is a land of seekers. So we have like we're born there. There are a million gods and gods. It's not just one thing. So you're always wondering, what is the meaning of life?
Okay.
So when you're wondering like that, so you start to understand it's all one. Every, you know, one, everything is one. You and I, we all have the same energy. It's just personified in different ways, and you start to understand, which is very complex. We can't have it in this podcast, but
Right.
yeah, lots of books later and lots of experiences later, lots of meditative sessions and other things later. So now I'm like, well, we gotta make our brothers and sisters rise
Hmm.
up and not feel bad and be victimized to their lives. And I can help them with health because I'm a good physician as well, so I can take care of
Love
their
that.
health. And also, as a human being, let's raise the consciousness of the world. So it's like a big task or a big dream, but I think one person at a time.
It, man, listen, this sounds like already like you're a total package. I mean, from a clinical standpoint, hey, you go to Dr. Kumaresan, she got you covered. But then from a spiritual standpoint, you go to Dr. Kumaresan, she's got you covered. Like, this is phenomenal. And we haven't even jumped into your professional journey yet. So this is just personally, I'm loving it. So, all right, one more question, personally related.
Mhm.
So it said you're an advocate, I mean, yoga practitioner since 2013. So basically, it's 11 years now. What
Yes.
does that mean? I've done yoga one time and it hurt my ankles, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ever gonna do this again. So help me, help me, help me.
So when you say yoga, right?
Yeah.
Um, it has different dimensions to it. So it's just yoga is not just about bending over backwards and touching your legs with your. It's not just yoga means union. Actually,
Okay.
what it means. So it's about uniting. You're just being one. You're really understanding your body. So when you meditate, that's a kind of yoga as well.
Okay.
Okay. So just sitting there and just you being without all the chatter and, oh, did I transfer that money to this guy? Did he
Right.
call me? The blah, blah, blah. Or nothing, none of that. And just you being with yourself, that is a form of yoga itself.
Okay.
So when you start being very, and you wake up in the morning, you do your practices, you are in tune with your body. At the
Hmm.
same time, you're also making sure your body is doing well and your mind as well, because you're recharging your battery by meditating. So when you go out in the world, you're all charged up. Your body, your mind, your spirit, you're all good. It's in union,
Nice.
right?
Nice.
When you go, then you can offer all that what you have.
Mm.
Let's say you go out with a sense of lack or tension or irritation or something, because it happens,
Right.
people around us pisses off or whatever it
Right.
is.
Right. Right.
Things happen,
The
but
guy cut me off in while we was driving downtown. Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So you will handle that better. I
Mm.
can see difference in myself even after years of doing this. When, let's say, 4 or 5 days I missed to do it because of all the excuses we have for
Sure.
ourselves,
Hmm.
you can tell, wow, why did I get irritated there? Usually I don't do that. That's weird. And then guess what? That becomes your personality. So then you become this angry person. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Then you have these labels attached to you instead of just you being you.
Gotcha.
We become these personalities. Oh, this person is that, this person is this, because of how they are reacting to this outside world. But at the soul level, soul doesn't have all these qualities, angry and whatever, judgmental or sad, or soul is vibrant. It's, you know, it's there, it's energy. If you look at it from the quantum physics standpoint, it's just that we are vibrating at different frequencies, and
Right.
that all is the difference between us. Otherwise, it's all one and the same.
Interesting. And again, I want to get into your professional, but one more
Mm.
follow up question because this is really good stuff. So,
Yes.
do meditation and soul building and things like this, do you feel like people's souls, like they each other, they connect, with someone else's soul? Like there's an attraction there or what?
As I told you, I think the sunlight's hitting on my face directly, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Let me turn a little bit. Okay. So, to be honest with you, like, let me put it as an example. So, sometimes you'll be seeking something and you'll be like,
Sure.
wow, it's such a coincidence that this person came at the right time.
Right.
So, you attract things or things are getting attracted to you based up off of what you're putting out. So if my intention is to, okay, so when I go out into the world, I put an intention for that day or for my being, my existence itself. Like mine is to raise, okay, whoever with the help of me, whoever will benefit from what I have to say or what I have to offer, please let them come to me so that we can all grow together, right? So
Right.
when I put that out there, automatically things happen. That's how it has been so far for me. So if
Okay.
a patient comes to me, sometimes it after taking care of their medical issues, they are automatically talking about other things, like they are stuck in a situation where they are not putting themselves first and their health is getting affected. So at the same, everything is affecting your health.
Sure.
Your mental being, your emotional being is affecting your health. You can have irritable bowel, you can have migraines from tension, right? Everything is affecting your body. You can have infertility from constant stress.
Mm,
You can have heart attack from stress. You can have overeating issues and have
sure.
obesity will lead to type 2 diabetes. So if you think, everything is connected to how you're operating in this world. So from the looks of it, when patients or people, when they come to me and are interacting with me, they want someone to push them in that nudge. It's not like
Right.
I'm some great somebody. I'm just like an alchemist. I'm just a catalyst for things. I'm nothing, is what I would think. I'm just like, okay, let the universe do its thing through me, but there's no identity attached to it. You see what I'm
I
saying?
got you. I
So when
got
the
you.
intentions are in that space,
Right.
things will just flow. You don't have to ask. Whoever has to come and listen to you will listen. Let's say I post something, it'll go to the right person who had to listen to that.
Right.
They're going to make a better choice than to harm themselves or somebody or something like that. It could be whichever scale of things, it could go either ways.
Listen,
So,
I like this because you're very humble about it too. It's like me, spiritually, this was already in me. And what I'm doing is I'm giving these vibes out for someone else to receive it. And then if they receive it, it lands at the footsteps or the doorstep of that person at the right time, just because you chose to put it out there. That's some powerful stuff, man. That's okay. Listen, a lot of people, they come on this show, right? You're an MD. So everybody knows, at least we all believe, becoming an MD is going to take you 30 years to do it, right? It takes you freaking 30 years. So tell me about your hustler's journey. How did you become an MD? Let's start from
oh, wow.
how it came in this head of yours and then you actually acting on it. So give me some scoop. Give me some insight.
Perfect. So, in my I was a child, I still remember things. So I think that's a gift which God gave me.
Okay.
I can remember a lot of things like from early on. My memory is good, so I'm really fortunate in that scale of things. I used to I remember that when I was around like 4 in kindergarten, or i I used to see people like, okay, in pain, like belly, oh, they're in pain. In a school, kids are crying. And I'm like, okay, I want people to have pain.
Right.
So I want to take this pain away. Why are they not feeling good when they have pain? Let's just, okay. Then I remember that asking, I think my mom, that, okay, what do I do if I want to take away that pain? Okay, that's you go to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
go to the doctor, they'll say, and I'm like, you know what? I will become a doctor.
Okay. Okay. So I'll be that person that people go
I
to.
want to become that person.
Okay.
And it became a drive so intense that, so I was raised in, I'm not from a very affluent family, middle class family
Okay.
in India. And my parents were wonderful parents, very supportive in my dream. And I was very exceptional in my academic side of things as well.
All right. Talk your shit, dog. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's which has been there. Again, it's not something I can take credit for. Given again, everything, whatever is going on, is given. So I'm just grateful and humble about it, because I should be. Otherwise, it will go away.
Right.
You should understand that, because that's where we have issues to. Because you have to be grounded about things, because it's a gift, right? It was given, so anytime things can go away too.
Yeah.
So I decided I was one point at, my thing, and medical school in India. But to United States, and I did a lot of research at the age of, I think, 22, 23. I had a lot of avenues. I wanted to become an infertility specialist at that time because there was a lot of things going on. I wanted to do everything, essentially. That's what it was.
Yeah, okay.
Couldn't
I
put.
love it. You was dreaming big. Yeah.
So I'm an internist now. That's fantastic because I can do a lot of things right now. I
Hmm.
can touch infertility with internal medicine too, because I can help them with the things which can cause infertility. So I'm touching everything with internal medicine. So it all landed really perfectly well for me. But that was there from a very early age. And I think because I was my depth of perception of the world was
Hmm.
pretty deep at a very young age. I didn't see things as just what it was. I wanted to know the reason behind why things were happening the way they were happening most of the times. So I was not a part of any group or when gossiping or in a gangs and stuff. I'm gonna be like sit under a tree and wonder what is this?
Right.
Why is that star this way? And what's going on with this space? And what's up with the aliens? I used to be more involved into deeper aspects of life. So that is kind of paving for me pondering into quantum physics right now. This is
Okay.
like nobody knows. I think I'm saying this out loud
You're speaking into an existence. Go ahead. Let's go.
I'm a garage. I'm a physicist. I cannot that to myself. I'm just into physics, and I'm reading because I want to connect many dots
Okay.
of unknown sides to physics, because it's all there. It's just that, for my understanding, this is not for proving to the world or in a society or some kind of book or anything. It's just for me. And then maybe someday when I'm in my 70s or 80s, I get to share my views and thoughts about what's up with this world,
That
right?
sounds powerful. That sounds amazing, though. It really does.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really so. Okay, so they wasn't physicians, right? Is what I'm picking up on.
Yeah, they were. My mom was a psychologist, MPhil, Master of Philosophy psychologist, and my dad, actually, in his younger part of his life, he was a physicist. He's a bachelor's in physics, and he was doing that, but he gave up because of some radioactive accident in the
Sure.
lab or something like that at a very young age. And he moved to the state where I'm from Chennai, southern part of India. And he's a businessman.
Right. Okay.
And so he has high, he's energy frequency person himself,
Nice.
and very much service oriented. My dad has and is running a trust which takes care of older geriatric people who don't have kids, who to take care of them. So he's like the child to all of them, and he's taking care of them. It's like an old age home.
Yes.
So that's what my dad's kind of in a service industry himself. So that part comes from him, and the intuitive aspect comes from my mom, I think, because she's a psychologist and she's all about figuring things out. And what's, oh, this is not right, why? But
Yeah.
in a very crude manner, I would say. But she is the beginning, right? I am from
Okay.
her. So I think it is, I'm very to have the parents who I have,
Sure.
because that's because of them is why I am here. And then rest is, you know
So how long did it actually take you to become an MD? Tell me about that.
let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So
Just a couple of days and you were done. It was
yeah,
poof. Yeah.
yeah. Let me tell you. So the first, you do finish your medical school.
Okay.
It took longer because I was an international grad.
Mm,
I did research for a couple of years, and passed family exams, and then I got into residency. That's 3 years. So it's about age of 30. You finish.
okay.
I started my career like as a in 2018. 2015 to 18, I did my MD in internal medicine,
Okay.
Ohio, and I got hired my own people, because of course we loved each other.
Yeah.
So, I got to be the only full-time attending in that clinic, and I was doing great at that time. But life has a personal note and stuff. I moved to Texas in
Okay.
2021, and I was with Parkland for 2.5 years at a geriatric clinic.
Okay.
So that happened, and I had to move to UT because of distance. I was driving like 2.5 hours from per day. It wasn't feasible for me.
Right.
And then, yeah. now I'm here.
That's awesome. So, all right, you
Let me
go ahead.
fix this. It looks
Okay,
like the
go
sun
ahead.
wants to hit my face today. Just a second.
All right.
I think that should fix it.
Now,
No,
now you got the little lines. There you
I don't know. This is weird. Okay, I think this is better.
that works.
Okay, this works. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that works. It looks great. So it sounded like you were really in the thick of it and on your grind during the pandemic. So can you share more about that experience and why
Hmm.
didn't that scare you off? Because a lot was happening during, that 2020 to tell me more about
Oh
that.
boy, it was the most tumultuous times, I would say, for everybody, especially for doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I think, stretched out so thin that we didn't know what you need, what we had to do,
Right.
because you were split, because you are not just a doctor, you're also a family member, you're a mother, your
Yes.
daughter. I didn't know which came first, but it was very easy for me to, I'm trying to see which direction you're.
You're fine. You're fine here.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Okay, so it was very in terms of, okay, what am I supposed to do? Should I go to work? Because you have, that's something which is ingrained in us. I would rather be there helping. I wasn't worried about, I was just so worried that I'm going to bring it to my home.
Sure.
And the sense of what you are, what happens to you was not there. It was about other people, because that's what you are here for, right? You
Right.
chose, consciously. So a lot of issues, and many of my colleagues, there were a few who, you know it changed their professional track. Some of them left medicine after that episode because few got traumatized. That's what I'm saying. You have to be resilient. Everything starts from here.
Right.
You fix yourself so that you don't have to fix the world. Guess what? We cannot fix the world. You can only have access to
Mm-hmm.
yourself. So the kind of, like, shook the world of doctors, not just doctors, all people and
Right.
everybody. It gave a sense of, okay, what's more important? What's important in life? So
Yes.
all the superficial things kind of slowly, you can see the haziness building on it. And people started focusing on things really mattered. There was more depth in
Yes.
how people thought and what
Right.
they were doing, because we were reminded of our mortality, which is not there usually on a day-to-day basis. We think we are invincible, and we,
Right.
of course, yes, we are. We are this and that at the same time. It's a paradox. You are very fragile being. Poof, a truck comes and hits you, you're gone. On the other side, you can go through so much, and you can stand like a pillar. So you are this and that. So I think somewhere the consciousness of people also rose up during, after, I think, after the aftermath of COVID. I think it was a dark tunnel period,
Yes.
and I think the light showed up at the end.
I love what you're saying. So, did you ever have like, were you ever close to a moment where you're just like, okay, I'm quitting. I'm not gonna do this anymore.
No, oh my God.
No.
I don't think I ever had a break in my
Okay.
employment.
Okay.
I don't think I ever be without seeing patients.
Got you.
I think even, let's say, tomorrow when I'm age, I don't know. I wish and pray I live a long life to serve.
Sure.
Maybe on the last day, also, even on my last day, I think I would practice. Might not be a full time, but at least one day in a week or some, I would be in my space. I think that's a very sacred space for me, and I don't think I can part away from that.
Listen, what I'm picking up on in the vibes that you're giving to me is you're 100% a servant leader. Because the thing that you said is, like, even in your dying, do you want to be serving others, which is powerful within itself. That's impressive. It really is. So, okay, tell me what do you do? Like, let's start there. What do you do?
So
I
so
know it's hard. You do
I do a lot of things.
professionally. What do you do as
Yes,
an MD? Yeah.
absolutely. So I am also right now, because of the role with UT, I'm an assistant professor.
Okay.
So I also teach medical students. For now, I here and there I teach residents as well. I see patients all day. I'm a full, so I'm a primary care physician. So I am the mothership.
Okay.
Okay. And if I need to go to a specialist, I decide, who they need, and I streamline the care of my patients. Okay.
Mm,
So most of my patients are usually elderly because I have experience in geriatric care with Parkland. I was only seeing geriatric patients for 2.5 years
Okay.
at Parkland. So it kind of, I think it's coming with, and it's very, humbling experience. And I love to care of our older population. Again, if you see universe is bringing older people, it's because it's very weird. I can't even say, I don't have words to
Yeah.
put in a sentence to explain this phenomena to you. So after geriatric population and then adults and over, I can see everybody. Most of the time, patients are coming in for type 2 diabetes, weight loss. Obesity is the root cause of most of the problems, I would
Okay.
say. Lifestyle problems, metabolic syndromes like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, your infertility issues because of hormonal changes, you know, all those, and high cholesterol. Seeing that at a very young age these days, like
Mm,
20s and 30s, which we usually used to see in the 60s. Now it's kind of gone to the point where our food and our lifestyle is so bad that we need to bring awareness to this because of more sedentary jobs. We're
okay.
not moving, and the awareness to, we need to build that. And I think right now, my practice, many come when they do not want to take a lot of medicine,
Sure. Yeah.
but they want to they want somebody, a quarterback, to tell them, hey, do this, do that, then we can prevent this. So I'm attracting more of those kind of patients who wants to make positive changes to their day-to-day life. And I'm kind of just a way shower. In the end, it's them, the kings and queens of this story. They're
Yeah.
doing the things. And when it comes to getting started on medication, if I say it, usually it is very absolutely necessary.
Okay. Okay.
Start
So
on
you're not just prescribed medication just to be
No.
prescribed medication. It's got to be something that you really feel is going to move the needle.
Yes, because,
Okay.
and also there's this other side of things where people think you can fix everything with medicine.
Right. Exactly.
But you got to understand, medicine can be a band-aid. It's not fixing it. Again, it is
Mm,
holding off on your symptoms, but it's not fixing it. So I'm bringing that awareness. I want to bring that awareness that, hey, do you want to just do the band-aids, or do you really want to work on your lifestyle things so that you can actually fix it?
sure.
Let's say you do all the things and still it's not fixable. Is it because of some genetic factors? Then don't worry about it. We are here for you. We doctors will take care of you. But if it's something which you can do, I think you owe it to yourself to get that done so you can live a long and healthy life and
Yeah.
not be dependent on multiple medications. At least we can cut it down to half.
I'm loving what you're saying because listen, I'm a veteran, right? And I go to the VA hospital, downtown Fort Worth, and like the kid, I get 10 medication. I'm like, why? Like, I don't need 10 pills to help this headache. So everything you're saying, I want less just to help me, fix the root cause and trying to have all these medications in my cabinet.
Absolutely. So also one thing I'm very passionate about is education.
Mm,
Educating why they are taking what they're taking. Why is this going to help them? So when you know why you're doing something,
hmm.
you will do it mindfully. It's not going to be an auto mode. It's not a muscle memory. You're going to be consciously thinking, oh, it's not like in your pill box and you're just saying, oh, this is every day. No, you want to know how this works, why you're taking this. Is there a way for us to come off of this? That education is very important. So I
Yeah.
spend more time with my patients in the patient room. I get into trouble because I don't get to finish my notes on
Right.
time because I'm always back. I'm staying late in the clinic because I'm behind on patients, but it's okay. It's a usual thing. It's not just for one patient. So my patients do understand me. They are the best. So it is pretty amazing that when you educate people, that is a light itself.
Hmm.
That spark, that flame it'll glow for a long time. It will take care of them. And they will have more questions. It's not like an auto mode. Oh, you come refill pills and send them back, come refill, just playing that game. Instead, revisiting everything again and again when they come in and telling them how they've been doing. So they have awareness and not being in an auto mode. Oh yeah, I'm on pills, my blood pressure is taken care of, but I'm going to have a like really salty steak dinner every day, and then not knowing that that's to their blood pressure.
Mm.
I think that awareness, that light of knowledge, is what we need to spread. That's very important in my you know what I think.
Make me something really quick, and this is kind of going back to your hustle. You shared with that you actually in India, and then you was in Toledo, Ohio, and then you're in the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
But for people who look like you, right? People who come from countries outside of the U.S., is there something or some insight that you could share that's going to help them make that navigation like you did to become a physician here in the U.S.?
Yes. So it's definitely is a tougher road.
Okay.
I could say that because that's truth. I think we cannot shy away from truth for a long period of
Right.
time. The opportunities, let's say the specialty in which you can go into it. Let's say you had good scores and USMLE, but you're soared out.
Okay.
So you got to prove your worth.
Okay.
You have to prove um, there's no necessity to pick you, because there's another person who doesn't need all those extra support because you're a foreign grad.
Right.
You might be the best in trade, you might be the best, but you gotta prove it. So my CV, so before I applied for my residency,
Mm-hmm.
I had to build my CV,
Okay.
like with my research and things I did. They don't know it's a different country, right? And
Yeah.
it's a different culture, and I look different too. But it's just that I think pre-known misconception about how this person would adapt to you know the system over here. That's a normal thing which everybody have.
Right.
But I think if you have the drive, if you have that fire lit within you, you will do everything. You will know how to present yourself in a way that they can see you for who you are. I
Got
think that's what I did. It was hard. It is harder. It was harder, I should say. I don't know how it is now to get into surgical specialty.
it.
Uh,
Okay.
as much. So, internal pediatrics, these are easier for foreign grads to get into. Because most of the other specialties are it's for the regular graduates, right? So, and that's okay. See, a system, it is all good because everything has a layered cake thing. Things don't change overnight.
Right.
Everything has a process, and we got to enjoy the process.
Mm.
I'm so glad I'm an internist, because now I am of who I am is because of that. And I'm so grateful. And I think the word of advice for foreign grads would be that they need to know who they are first. What are their strengths? What am I good at? How am I going to prove this to the world? Do I have a good personality? How am I going to shine that?
Right.
Am I good in my analytical skills? Am I great with getting good scores? I can show them I am so good at my knowledge that I'm best what you got. Pick.
Right.
Yes, it's okay. This will make you resilient. The more pressure something goes through, even a carbon, right? A coal, the
Yeah.
more pressure it gets, it becomes a diamond. So take this opportunity to become a diamond rather than complain there's pressure.
Ooh, she dropping the wisdom. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so all right, you're an MD.
Mhm.
From you talked about your hustle journey and how rigorous it is and how basically you need to not only be at top of your game but really understand who you are, tap into that, and then the world is going to buy into that once you really buy into who you are. But help me understand, like, what are some of the misconceptions of what you do today, and whether that's just being a physician or whether that's being a physician and being a physician who's also a female. So talk more about that.
Yeah, so still in this society, there's this idea that physicians live a very glamorous and luxurious life.
You don't.
No, 11 days are the longest, and we work very hard. We barely get enough sleep. There's so much responsibilities even after coming out of the clinic
Okay.
or hospital. I can speak for any doctor. And the health which they are preaching, it's very hard for them to take care of themselves. This is reality check. So this is the reality. So people think, and we are the high tax bracket because of who we are.
Right.
What you see is not what we get again. So there's this huge misconception about doctors. Oh, you're a doctor. What's up?
Yep.
You got no.
Everybody's driving a Lamborghini. You're living in a
No,
$3 million house
in
and all that.
traffic. We're driving and we are late. Everybody's at home. We are still in the clinic seeing patients. We do calls. We work. We are workaholics. We become that,
Right.
and we don't get, sometimes we don't get enough sleep.
Okay.
I'm a example, because as I told you, I spend more time with my patients.
Yep.
I have a vision of how I'm going to take care of my patients, but you have a lot of paperwork and charting and other things in baskets, hundreds of patients asking questions every day. You have so much work going on behind that. Where is it going to come from?
Right.
From our time, from our day-to-day life.
Mm.
So being a doctor is not for the faint of hearts. You become something if you have that passion for it. Otherwise, this looks like a burden. It's not a burden. It comes with the job, but it might be pursued as a burden if you're not very passionate about
Right.
this what you're doing. So the world needs to know that doctors are also humans who can get sick sometimes.
Right.
When they're sick, they need to cancel the clinic because they can't take care of you. If they are not doing well, you got to take care of your doctors too, because that's not their. We have patients who get really upset when the clinic is canceled or something like that. And it's very hard to understand. Oh, doctors get sick? Really?
Right. Because I mean, I've
Yeah.
had a couple of canceled, and I'm like, come on, you're not supposed to be sick. Like, I
Oh, yeah.
want
We
you.
can't go to vacations. We can't get. We are
Oh,
supposed to be there 24/7 at the beckoning call.
around the clock. Yep.
But the thing is, this person also has a family, has a little one at home.
Right.
They got to go pick up their child from the school. There's the day-to-day things which you're experiencing, they are going to experience on top of what they're doing.
Hmm.
So a life of a doctor is very complex than what meets the eye. People see this outside, again, it's just the outside thing, but if you go in depth into that particular whichever particular profession, you more dimensions to it than what meets the eye.
Hmm.
So that's one. And also being a physician, a women physician, there are other things which come, other misconceptions come. I would tell you two examples.
Okay. Come
one,
on,
ex-
build the tea. Let's.
One example was that I had a patient, I think a year ago. She, as soon as I entered into the room, she's like, "Oh, I thought it was a male doctor." Duh.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. This was I didn't even enter the room completely.
Right.
Okay. So I was like, but that is my long-standing patient right now.
Okay. Okay. You built that relationship.
So it's not their fault. It's just conditioning of the society. Whatever
Right.
it is, I don't know why. But then I had back-to-back patients 2 weeks ago. They came to me after reading my bio. They said, but that's not the real reason. I came to you because one thing I was impressed with the bio I have or whatever, it resonated with them.
Yep.
And I'm a woman because and they were all men. Okay. And they were
Interesting.
like,
Yeah.
okay, because they have their daughters who are, they're older, they know, they said, no, I have 6 kids. I have 3 boys and 3 girls. And guess what? I wanted to come to a woman because I know how they think and what they do. So it's a gift to be born as a woman, because
Yeah.
I think you see world with a different pair of glasses. I think our brains are more connected in ways which we can explain. We can connect dots real quick. We are very complex mechanism. So there's a difference between a male and female brain. So I think I'm glad this
Yeah.
time I'm a woman, because I'm able to, think the way I think, emotional quotient which comes, I can be empathetic and things of that sorts. I'm not saying men cannot be, but majority of women have it inherently within them. For men, it's difficult because it's something either they're born with or they have
Hmm.
to learn. I do know some amazing physicians and men who are very intuitive and very emotionally, emotional quotient is very high. It's a rarity to see because they are mostly analytical. They are very
Sure.
box type. Everything is a folder. It's shaped. We're like all different forms, and it's more.
Like this because what I picked up on, it just made me reflect on my own journey through my primary care physician, which I've always had a woman primary care physician, including today. And I think what you just shared with me is probably what resonated with me, is that they're more empathetic, they're more understanding. I feel like I'm going to be judged a lot less. And a lot of guys are, well, what about, I'm sharing my private parts, all this stuff with my physician, but like I feel like she's not judging me. She's trying to help me. Whereas a guy, he like, dude, really? Is that all you got? Like, real, you know what I'm saying? For real. So
Yeah.
I like this. That makes sense. Okay. Good
Yeah.
stuff. What about, all right, you're a woman, you're an MD. Do you feel like that journey is, I guess, is there any the stigmatism associated with it? Do you feel like women are treated equally in the medical practice as men as you're, becoming an MD?
I think take a while
Okay.
to equalize that side of things, because see, women doing it all. Being a mother, so I'm a mother, I am a daughter, I am a physician,
Right.
I have different roles. I'm doing it all. And because we're doing it all, let's say I'm having a pregnant and I'll be gone because that's another thing, there's this idea, and this, if it's, I think it's gonna take a while. It is not equal yet, a man and a woman. The world doesn't, even if it's from a woman's standpoint. Let's say a higher up, somebody from higher up is a woman and is looking, it's just there and win them. It takes a while for it to go away.
Right.
But if we don't hold the torch up and bright right now, it's going to take longer.
Okay.
I like to see everything in a positive light. So instead of saying, okay, there's no inequality, I don't get the same. There's this difference. I can sense it. Why is there? We can the ghost room, right?
Right. 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 Right.
But you can't show. You just feel it. You
You
are like
feel it.
wondering, what in the world? It's okay.
Okay.
Think, as I told you before, more pressure you get, become a brighter shining diamond with more carrots,
Okay.
rather than complaining why it is pressured in here.
Got you. Got you.
I think it's very important because as women, we go through a lot.
Sure.
There's so much in our arsenal to begin with. Just starting from having this body itself, a woman goes through changes. A man can only imagine that. It cannot even, what is going on. They don't catch a break, They think, oh, yeah, after, no, menopause, other whole gamut by itself. So a woman never gets to catch a break, how the body feels, even, so it's so important. Because I wouldn't say we do the short straw, because I think everything can be a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Sure.
If it's so crazy at this point of things, it can also go to the other side. It's always like a two sides of a coin.
Mm-hmm.
Use it to your advantage. I think to all my fellow women, I think if you're going through something, if things are getting harder, I think you got to take it as an opportunity to prove yourself or better yourself. See what works for you. What might work for me won't work for you, but you figure it out, because the world is customizing based of who you are. It's customizing every second. As I
Right.
told you, you vibrate at certain frequency, that's what you're going to attract. But let's say I'm feeling so good, but still things are not working well in the world, like the things you're talking about, things
Right.
we just gotta we just got our thing and keep moving. I think being stagnant and complaining and staying in that space is not right, because then your energies are stagnant.
Yep.
Then you will attract the same thing. I think this is all have to do with your mindset.
Got you.
So fixing the mindset's important. I know we are in the middle of everything, so things will get better.
So let me ask you this, because I mean you've shared a lot. I don't want to hold day, but I do got a few more follow up questions, real quick.
Oh yeah.
What about what in the role of technology in the medical world? I mean, how do you think that's, is it going at the right pace? Is it the wrong pace? What do you like to see differently? Just give me some insight on your thoughts around
Yes,
technology and medicine.
absolutely. So we love that, technology makes our life easier. Also, it seems like it's a threat
Hmm.
to taking away what we're doing.
Right.
It's like, it's analytical, it can analyze you. So the things which make us human, those things is what a technology won't have. So
Right.
that's why it's so important to hone those skills which makes us human, which a machine can never do. But in talking about how the technology is helping us, is right now there was a pilot program, to dictate, while so that we have to type all day.
Yeah.
We're in a room, the technology is to dictate whatever the conversations we are having, so making our lives easier. So that's a pilot project which is running, and that's amazing. So
Right.
it's going to help our lives. And also the way we are communicating, a patient can have anything, just send a my chart message, and we get it immediately. They don't have to stay online for hours, holding on to their phones. Is helping.
Okay.
But then there are certain aspects that people are worried, like AI taking over, it
Right. It's a
can,
real concern.
yeah, it's a real concern. So I think it's going to take a while for that transition to happen, though. I don't think it's something it's in our doorstep right now. And I don't think our future, young doctors who are getting trained worried. I think it'll be customized to a point where they'll be managing those technologies.
Right.
The technologies cannot directly take over medical field to treat and cure and do things what we're doing. There is going to be a steep learning curve on this, because yes, the world is changing.
Okay.
In 50 years, or maybe in 40, or maybe even in 30 years, the landscape of this might be very, very different, of how
Right.
we are practicing medicine, what for what reasons we are actually going to a doctor. So that's why, again, as I said, it's so important to hone the skills of what makes you human. So the things which I have to offer, I don't think a machine or AI can offer to my patients.
Okay.
They might be able to motivate the program, but they are not flesh and blood like me, right?
Got you.
I think we just got to be mindful of how we are building ourselves based off of the world we are seeing. There are threats to our jobs. There's a lot of things going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
I think in the end, we shouldn't lose the sight of why we're doing what we're doing.
Okay. So, in your opinion, what things actually people back from becoming a medical doctor like yourself?
The timing, how
Yeah.
long it takes. You're 30 years old by the time
Yeah. Exactly. I'm like, I'm out on that, dude. Like, come on, for real. No way.
your friends are having kids, have a
Right.
home, they are paying mortgage, they are building their family, and you're here in a dorm, or in your college, still living off of your parents, or you are just getting by. You don't have money in your bank, you have
Right.
loans, you have big loan on your head. But when you're ready to make that kind of sacrifice, that itself tells you that how passionate you are. So not everybody reaches out to this. So that's a big challenge. But if you have that passion to help people in this manner, because you can help people in n number of ways,
Yep.
you can serve this world in n number of ways. But if
Mm-hmm.
this is what you see yourself doing, it's worth it. If I had to do this another time, I would choose the same path million times, or maybe more.
Wow.
I would not change a single thing.
Okay. That's good to hear. So, okay, talked a lot about personally, professionally, some of the pitfalls. You've been, a woman in medicine, and also talked about, the disparities of health and, take care of patients and technology and health. So, outside of work, though, just outside of work, like who are you? What do you like to talk about? Like, what makes you happy?
Oh my, yes, I love running, gardening. I have a good group of women friends
Okay.
who get together. Like it's actually a group called Dynamo Dogs. All
Dynamo Docs.
Yeah, Dynamo Dogs.
Oh, you should coin that. That sounds good. Let's go.
From Asian Indian origin. We're here, second generation, third generation, first from ages from 30 till retirement, and all the women who've been through life. It's such a support group. So
Right.
I'm part of that. We kind of do things together to and each other. Also, I'm into a lot of, actually, you can check it out. So there's a charity gala tomorrow.
Okay.
It's Texas Indo-American Physician Society. So I'm taking part in it. So it's actually a charity gala.
Okay.
So it's like, so things like that. I'm into the society doing things. What else do I do? Other thing is yoga, meditation. We I try to involve myself with all these people, or I used to take classes in CSL Dallas. I'm not able to do that these days because of the time constraint.
Yeah.
And I make inspirational videos,
Okay.
you know. So I've been changing a bit, but I think I got the name Dr. High Vibes. Okay. So that's my Instagram handle. And
Okay.
where I can, I turn it on. It's not I don't edit or anything. It's just I feel like I have to get this out to the world. It will
Okay.
the person, I just turn it on and take the videos. I'm just learning the in and outs of how Instagram works because it's so hard. I'm not good with all the editing and all that food. Maybe you can teach me that, but
Try to get somebody to teach me, but go ahead.
oh my gosh, it's just I'm doing that, and that's something I do very much. I'm doing that these days. I try to make videos and try to engage so that it's a constant reminder to stay positive and keep the vibes high. That's one thing. And other thing is I love singing. So
Okay.
I used to sing when I was a kid. I learned classical music. I the time in life when I had to choose between medicine and music. My parents were very strict. They were like, you can only do one, you
Right.
both. So I
Okay.
chose medicine, and music was like just part-time singing here and there. I think I'm hoping someday I get to just sing as a hobby. That's what I'm doing right now. Let's see, but it's not something which is in the front burner right now. It's just a
Gotcha.
skill I have. Yeah.
So we're not going to be paying to go see you perform anytime
No,
soon. Yet, not yet. Okay, that's going to be the next chapter.
yes,
Got it.
yes.
So you talked about people can connect with you. They can follow you on your Instagram. Share that again. What was that? It was Dr. What?
Dr. High Vibes.
High Vibes. Okay.
Yes.
And then outside of that, is there any other way people can get in contact with you, especially if they had questions or they wanted to glean some more insight, or just follow you on Instagram?
Yes, absolutely. Send me, Instagram. You can send me. They can send me a message,
Okay.
and I usually post. I try post every other day because of sometimes, as I told you, our lives are so hectic.
Yeah.
I mean, the traffic, and I want to see the background of heavy traffic while I'm
Right.
videos. But I do post and I do share my thoughts there very often. Or they can come and see me. I am taking new patients, and I will always will be, and I do work for UT Southwestern. Yes.
All right. So Doc, close us out here. What message would you like to share with the world? Get off your chest. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay. So life is going to get because
Mhm.
that we are here for a reason. Everybody has a task or some lessons to learn. So when we understand that whatever we are going through is a stepping stone, and it is not a punishment or some kind of reprimandment for you, you will see life in a different light, and different things will start happening to you. Don't let a negative anything put your spirits down.
Mm.
Become a warrior. Choose to become a warrior instead of becoming a victim to anything. There can be n number of things which can go wrong. Worst thing might have happened to you, but don't let that make you a victim. Rise above it. Become a warrior. Be the way shower for other people who might go through what you've gone through, and try to give your hand for them so that you can be a way shower for those people. When you alchemize that, you are the alchemist, which Paulo
Mm.
Coelho talks about. Alchemize whatever comes your way. You have this capacity to turn it into something beautiful. Somebody's throwing shit at you, make manure and grow flowers.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Listen, I enjoyed who you are personally as well as professionally. I feel like this is going to resonate and help so many other people who's aspiring to follow you in your journey. And I'm truly, excited and blessed that I had this opportunity to get to connect with you at this type of level. So everybody, y'all want to tap in. We, was joined today by Deepika, an MD, also assistant professor at the Department of Internal Medicine at UT Southwestern Medical Center. She's active in the community. Even though she has no freaking time for anything, she has two cats and a 5-year-old,
Yes.
extremely busy, but out here hustling, making difference, changing lives. Thank you. Appreciate you. and love the inspiring message that you left with everybody. So until next time, y'all keep hustling, keep grinding. And that's been another episode of Health Hustle Chronicles. Keep hustling.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.